What's going on, everyone? Juice Bags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders Awakened and my Let's Play series of full progression from start to finish. We are here getting ready to hop into that third campaign map, the Lava Mines, but before we do, we've got some loot to go through. Now, if you remember at the end of that last episode, I got myself a minigun. I actually have a couple of miniguns to choose from. They look identical. So I'm just going to go ahead and just keep this one equipped here. And I do want to just go through my other gear. Now, as you see, I've got a couple of green items here. So starting to pick up some greens, and that is a good thing. And what I'm going to do, since I am going to play actively on the Huntress here as my DPS, I made that switch in the middle of the last run, I'm going to put those greens on her. So let's go ahead and, actually, I can't even equip that one yet. That one is level 12 requirement. They're both level 12 requirement. Alright, so I can't do anything there quite yet. But what I can do is get a full set of armor on my other homies. Now, I do want to look through and see if there's anything in particular that's really going to stand out to me from the items that are here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and sort by item power and look at the highest item power items. Ideally, I'd like to get a set, like all minor items or all ancient items, etc. However, it's just not really a huge deal super early game, as you get 40% of practically nothing. So although the set bonus is nice to have at that 40%, it's just 40% of nothing really. So, you know, it's nice to have if you can make it happen. In the gray gear, don't sweat it. See, I actually can get a set thrown together here, and none of them have fort. Now, I've got a set bonus on, which gives me a little extra power, but I've got no fortify, and this, of course, is my builder hero, or my waller hero. So, if we take a look at my stats, I did get a level up there. I want to put these 6 points directly into fortify. Now, it's going to get those walls a little bit fatter and a little bit healthier. Now, taking a look at the Huntress here, I'm not gonna, well, I guess I could go through and see what we have here as far as sets. I mean, I might, you know, more power is always a good thing. It looks like I might actually have a full minor set here. See, I've already got power there. We've got attack on that one, but let's go ahead and go with the minor one. Like I said, this is just so not important this early in game. But I'm going to try to do the right thing and do it anyway. Do I have a minor head anywhere? It doesn't appear I have a minor helmet, so I can't complete the set here on my Huntress. Let's take a look at the apprentice. And my poor little apprentice is just flat out naked. So let's just give this little guy whatever we can here. Let's go back to item power again. There's some gloves. I need a headpiece. What's my highest power head? We'll go with that one. Just mix it and match it on the apprentice. And then, last but not least, we've got the monk. So let's do the same thing there. Let's go to item power sorting. There we go. And what do we want to do here? What have we got on them? We've got mixed pieces. See, militia. Those are both minor pieces. That one's ancient. Guard. Still very, very mixed set of gear. Not even going to sweat whether or not I can get a set put together. So I'm just going to take the highest item power items here and throw them all on my monk. Now, I forgot to go through the stats. Now, as a builder, of course, although I am going to DPS on this hero, I'm still focused on that range. I want to get my range up to 25, as that's really a nice place to be. Traps, actually, you could go with a couple of points in fortify just to get like another charge or two. Remember that you can play with these numbers. You left click to put the numbers in, right click to take them out. So say I change my mind and I want to go 5 fortify, I can always do that. And then we will check out the apprentice. The apprentice is just going to be straight up builder. I'm going right into range there. As soon as I get to 25 on the apprentice, I'll start working on that rune of power. And then we've got the monk, the mighty June Bow here. And once again, another builder. I'm going to go range first. Let's get that to 25 before we worry about anything else. The reason I'm prioritizing kind of getting it to 25 is range really starts to drop off greatly after 25. Now, obviously, the more you go, the more the drop-off will be, but just a little tidbit of side information, 25 range is exactly half the distance you would gain out of 100 range. So it just shows you those first 25 points are very strong in range, so I am going all out on the range. Now, as far as the rest of this stuff, I could save those greens, which I probably should. So let's go ahead and lock those items, and let's just sell everything else and get it out of our inventory. Now, with everything else gone, one more thing we want to do, I've got a full set of grays now. I'm no longer going to look at gray gear at all, so I want to change my loot filter. I'm going to come over here to the auto loot and make it so that only uncommon items and up will drop. So any green, blue, purple, or gold items of any quality, all of the common items that are on the ground will get auto-sold, and I'll get the gold. So now that my loot filter is set, there's one more thing I want to do before I hop in. Now if I look, I've got 8,000 gold, which is nothing. Absolutely nothing. You'll get more than this off of just one item here, just within a few maps. So nothing to sweat this small amount of gold we have. However, a huge quality of life bit that I could add is upgrading this POS gray weapon. Now, is it a waste? Yeah, it's kind of a waste, but it's just no gold. It's nothing at all to worry about. If we take a look at my damage output right now, obviously this is a builder. My damage output is pretty darn pathetic. Not even up to 70 DPS. Oh my gosh. Now, obviously, I could go over that as soon as I unlock my Adrenaline Rush ability, which I don't have unlocked quite yet. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and spend a little of that gold on upgrading this weapon. Now, if we take a look at it, we've got 5 available upgrade points. The first thing I want to do on a gun is see if there's an available upgrade point for fire rate, which there is one available point. So I'm going to put all the other 4 points into range damage, and I'm going to put that last 1 point into a fire rate, and that's going to drop my fire rate down just a bit. As you see, this is 3,000 gold. 3,000 gold is literally nothing, so don't sweat it. And if we take a look at my DPS now, oh, we are rocking it as we're putting out pretty darn near 100 DPS. Now, is that a big gain? Nah, of course not. That's not crap, but for the pennies that it cost me to upgrade that, I just don't mind doing it at all. So let's hop on in and get our Lava Mines map started on hard mode, as that is what's coming up next. And we have arrived in the Lava Mines. This is a really fun map. It's actually going to open up on higher difficulties, and we're going to have a whole nother core to defend up top, up there, which is going to be really, really nice. Now, I'm hoping I get a better weapon, although this weapon will get me through the map. You know, this thing's a POS. I'm not trying to fool anybody, so I want to get it replaced as quickly as possible. But let's go ahead and get the base setup going here. And I think I want to go up here for this particular lane. I do want to check and make sure I'm blocking this completely, as I just don't want to use more than one blockade. Okay, I went a little bit too far over. Let's see there. No, now I didn't go far enough. Or I went too far the opposite way. So let's see, let's try it right here. Remember, if you can run through, the enemies can run through, so make sure you can't pass through those blockades, as some of the little gobus will just sneak right around. And then here for this lane, we've got it a little bit easier. We'll just go, like, right there. Now, alright, I've got, not a ton of mana left. I've got 140 mana left. See if I can't get this dialed in a little bit better here. Let's see how it is right there. Is that going to allow me to run through? No. Well, actually it does. So I need to go over just a little bit closer towards that torch. Let's try right here. Now I think we might have a gap on this side. Oh, I went up and over. Let's see. Do we have a gap on this side? No. And no. So now we're good. And now what do I want to do? I got 140 left, so I got lots of options. You know, I think for this one, I might try out some electric auras. So let's go ahead and drop an electric aura on each one of the lanes. And we'll just use this electric aura just to kind of get us started. Now, obviously, there will be enemies that come out that are immune to electric damage, and we're going to have to manually kill those. But that'll give us a nice little basic start of the map. So I'm going to go ahead and DPS on the Huntress. Let's get it going and see if we can't get this map knocked out. Now, as you see, I'm just not doing a ton of damage, even with that upgrade there, but it is better than nothing, and what I had before was basically nothing. So it was about a 50% increase in damage for the cost of that 2,000 gold, which, on a great quality item, it's probably not even worth it, but it's not terrible either. You're not out anything by making it happen. Now, I don't have a Shrink Drain aura yet. I'm going to have to level up a little bit further before I can get that unlocked. So that means these enemies are going to be, anything that comes out that's immune to electric damage is going to be completely immune in my electric aura. Let's see, we should have another nice pack of them coming here. Here they come now. This map does run a tiny bit slow. It feels like there's some gaps in the enemies coming out. Let's just go ahead and dish out the pain here. 22 at a time. Oh, we are wrecking it now. My electric aura is actually doing about a little more than double what I'm doing. Now, I'm shooting a little bit faster than it is, but obviously the next item, the next gun I get is just going to be an upgrade. I'm sure that even though I spent that 2,000 gold, it's a one map upgrade type system. I'll be replacing it almost immediately. Now, alright, what do we want to do? I think since we do have that electric damage, having some physical damage here would be nice. So let's drop an explosive trap right here. Let's do the exact same thing over on this lane. And then we want to start thinking about some actual power on the lane. So one thing we're going to notice right away is all of a sudden our Flame Burst Tower, or our towers from our apprentice, have got some decent range on them. So we're going to be able to rely on these Flame Burst Towers pretty heavily. They are super, super strong, preferably early game. The earlier the game, the stronger the Flame Burst is, so take advantage of that as you are leveling up. Don't be discouraged as well by the gear that you're finding, that like that green item there that I couldn't actually use yet. Don't sweat it. You're going to be using that stuff in no time. Just keep any of the items that you can't use yet in your inventory. And it's going to take a few maps before I get leveled up enough to use these, but I'm hoping by the time I get there, I actually have a few full sets of greens going on. See, and that is it for the mana for this one. I'm going to spend that last 22 on a repair right there on that aura. This one's pretty low as well, so I will want to collect up some mana from these first groups of enemies that come out and get it repaired as well. Got the slow roll here, that is for certain. Unlocking that Adrenaline Rush ability on the Huntress, which is the second ability. Unlocking the second ability really on any hero is pretty substantial. I may end up switching over to Hero Boost Monk, but the Hero Boost Monk I do know is going to be getting a change soon, as it's just ridiculously OP. The hero boost on the monk itself is completely imbalanced and more powerful than really any other hero aspect in the game. So there's no doubt it is not quite dialed in right, and I'm sure that is going to be getting changed here before we know it. Let's go ahead and let these baddies come on out, and we're going to have a whole lot of repairs to do, as we just don't have any health on our auras or our traps yet. Putting in the work over here, putting in the work. The Flame Burst just hit so ungodly hard. Look at that, hitting for 231 when everything else is like plugging away for 20 and 40 damage. So Flame Burst is a win, that is for sure. We actually picked up a level already. Let's get the rest of our DU spent here real quick. And how do we want to do it? What do we have? I could completely overkill it and go with a gas trap. That would be fun. We could always go with an explosive trap at the spawns even. That would be fine as well. Give us a little upfront damage and actually make the map run a little quicker. Let's take that route. Let's go with a Splody right there. We'll get a Splody in like right here. Go with another one right here. There we go. And then that's going to leave me 9 DU left. What do we want to do with 9? I tell you what, I know we do have flyers coming in over on this side. So why don't we add one more Flame Burst. We see that flyer lane just opened up. Let's get one more Flame Burst, and just in case we have enemies or flying enemies that are immune to the fire damage, let's throw a Magic Missile over here as well. So we'll go Flame Burst and Magic Missile. These are also going to cover the wall, so anything that makes it to the wall is just going to get chewed on by all of these towers. And speaking of walls, it's time to throw some upgrades around. I think I'm actually going to upgrade the auras. See, we will put a repair on that wall, though. These new traps aren't going to need anything yet. They may end up just burning out. If they burn out, I'll just throw down new ones and not sweat it. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and throw repairs on all of that stuff. Now, you see we've got 1 DU left. Now, one thing you'll notice, particularly as you're using tower-type defenses, is the Ogre Snotballs are extremely powerful. However, you can bait these Ogre Snotballs out. This particular map has this little area right here on this ledge. Since I've got 1 DU left, I'm going to throw an Apprentice Wall right there. And that is going to give another target for the ogres to throw at. Now, it's not guaranteed. They're not always going to throw at it. But if one Ogre Snotball heads over that way, then it was without a doubt a win. So I am going to just rely on spending all the DU and having it there. Now, another aspect to that, you will get a small experience bonus every single wave if you use all of the DU. So always use all the DU, although it's not much experience. It's free experience, and you're just leaving it laying there if you don't use up all your defense units. So let's go ahead and get Wave 3 started here. We've got a little bit more of a powerhouse here now. Let's see if we can't burn some stuff out. Those explosive traps up front are going to be just a huge, huge help. They're going to put out a lot of extra upfront damage, which is just very nice. How are we holding up over here? We got our first flyer in. Let's just put a little damage in on that flyer ourselves. I do want to keep an eye on the flyers over here. Make sure if they're coming in, I'm not getting caught off guard. Now, of course, you can see them pretty easily on that tactical map, so make sure you're using your tac map, y'all. Hit that tab key. It is good stuff. Try it. You just might like it. Let's see. What's coming? Anything? Doesn't really look like anything's coming in much yet. Just keep all these traps repaired. We're about halfway through the wave here, so I do see we got a flyer coming in. We could probably just take that flyer out from range here. Actually, it's pretty healthy. It may have been too early to upgrade that weapon, but I'm just not sweating the 2,000 or 3,000 gold that I spent. It's just not that much. It's not enough to worry about. Alright, let's get an upgrade there. Let's go ahead and throw an upgrade on all of these up front towers. Just to get a little bit more upfront stopping power to burn these enemies out. And let's get that guy upgraded as well. We've got the wall up. What else do we want to do? We can actually take things up to the next tier now, to tier 3. I think what I'll do is take both of the electric auras up to tier 3, and that should help them out not only in their survivability, giving them a little bit more defense health, but also just in their power output. It should make them hit a little bit harder. We've actually got enough left to upgrade that trap as well, so let's just get that bad boy done. And we are in pretty good shape here. Everything is upgraded or repaired to full. So, wave 4, let's just get it going here. I'm going to just try to keep all of this stuff repaired up as we need to. Got another flyer rolling in. This one should be no problem getting wrecked by those flame bursts. Oh yeah. Big time damage. Now remember, your towers and defenses do get not only a damage buff when you upgrade them, but a slight speed buff and a slight range increase. So when you upgrade a defense in Dungeon Defenders Awakened, you are improving it in all aspects, not just in power. So more range, of course, is happy times. So I definitely want to get some range on these tower type defenses. Now magic missiles scale insanely well with range, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that one first, and then we'll spend this other 100 mana that I have here just on one of the flame bursts, and just let it do its thing. I mean, I think right now we could go over to wall repair mode and have pretty good success completing the map. I actually do want to upgrade this wall as well, just to get it a little fatter there. We won't have any worries. We will have ogres, of course. I don't know where the ogres are coming from, so we'll have to keep an eye out for those. And I just want to watch my charges here. Traps are doing good enough at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and hit that one with an upgrade instead of a repair, just to get it nice and fat. It's, you know, it's a gamble, because I don't know which wall that the ogres are going to go to, but I'm hoping the ogre is coming over that way. That's for sure. And then let's just go ahead and get a repair on this bad boy. Let those enemies just go in and get wrecked up. Explosive traps are so powerful early game. I absolutely love them. Strongly suggest adding them into your build. They are a bit of a pain in the butt with the maintenance, constantly repairing them, but they are well worth it. Now, once you get to that happy spot with your range, then you could start working on other things like the power and the health and make them live just a little bit longer. Just walked right into that one there. I'm trying to get to this trap here to save it before it expires. And it looks like we'll be able to get it. So it is GG's there. We got 6 more enemies. We're probably going to have some flyers, right? We'll have to see what we get coming out here. One stubborn mob that just doesn't want to come out and meet his maker. It's probably a flyer, I bet. Yeah, there it is. It's coming. It's just taking the slow road. And there we go. Flyer destruction has occurred. Getting lots of greens now. There's no doubt in my mind that as soon as I hit level 14, I'm going to have sets of greens to go all the way around, and I am looking forward to that. Now, I don't actually need to loot that stuff. It's all getting auto-looted. As you see, I can't take things up another level quite yet. I need to get all the way up to level 19 for that. Here is an actual... It would have been an upgrade to our current gun, but I'm going to hold out and hopefully we see something a little bit shinier than just adding another gray. Just going to let those gray items just kind of sell off as we go. Let's see, we are looking good. We do have 600 left though, so let's hit all of these towers over here to give a little bit more range, power, and rate. I'm going to hit that magic missile there. And we're off wave number 5. So final wave, we will have an ogre this wave. Gonna have to watch for it and see where it decides to go. And then of course those lovely flyers. Not going to be putting out a whole lot of damage with this weapon. if someone just straight up wants to play the strongest DPS character right out of the gates, you'd probably want to go, well, today it would be Monk or Apprentice. The Monk is going to be dependent, of course, on that hero boost ability, the second ability, which I don't have unlocked yet. So the Apprentice right out of the gates would definitely be the strongest hero to go with. But I think we will probably be pretty solid here. I just need to make sure that nothing expires. So far, so good. Where, oh, where is that ogre coming from? Let's go ahead and just... I'm going to throw upgrades around instead of repairs because it's, you know, give me a little bit more life expectancy out of them. Since I'm sitting on that mana anyway. Looks like we may end up losing that trap way over there. I could probably get to it and get it repaired, but I'm just no real sense of urgency to keep it around. Here we go. We got a little free kick from that orc. Thank you there, Mr. Orc, for helping us out with a little cross-ravine travel. Very, very considerate of you. And then we'll just burn this guy down. We've got about just under a third of the enemies left. So we are almost there, and we're still waiting for the ogre. It's all about the ogre at this point. I do want to make sure I don't spend all of the mana I have, because remember, ogres take a month to kill. They just take forever to kill. And here he comes, 80,000 health. Let's go ahead and drop one more upgrade on that wall there. And we will just get to plugging away at Mr. Ogre here. Now, one thing we can do, we can always drop another trap close by in case he, you know, and then maybe even walking back and forth around through the traps. Lost a flame burst there. The cleave damage is pretty intense. But we are back around to the Ogre-licious Burning. Now, we've got a little bit more damage output this time, so I'm not sweating the Ogre at all. It's just going to be one of those things that's going to take me a while to kill him. So we do have a flyer over here coming in. Now, the benefit of DPSing on the Apprentice is I'm losing my builder towers because of all this Ogre cleave damage. If I was actively on the Apprentice, I could actually sell everything on the map and just throw another tower down, and it'd be good, you know. Go ahead and squeeze one off there. It was a little close call, but we've got it. I'm going to try to sneak a trap in between those other two traps and then walk him back and forth. But I'm not sure if he's going to let me do that. Is he going to let me get it off? Nope. He's not having that kind of shenanigans. That's alright. We'll slow roll him. Slow rolling him is no problem. I won't do the 2,000 years later on you guys this time. I'll let you all actually see the pain here of what it takes to deal with this stupid ogre. Come on over here, Mr. Ogre. Hit lots of traps. Alright, you got that trap? Come hit this one then. The snot ball still got me. The snot balls on these early game ogres are so easy to avoid. You can definitely stay out of their way if you choose to. They do have that massive, massive splash though, so just make sure you're conscious of that. Let's dance them around a little bit more. Come over here. Over this way, please, sir. Thank you very much. Now that trap is good, let's come over here and hit this trap. Is he not in the trap target? There, it looks like it hasn't reset yet. We'll get him. We'll get him. He's down to 22k. Just keeping my wall good and fat. Bring him back over to this trap. Then we'll bring him back over to this trap. He's gonna die. There's no doubt. Just gonna have to do the dance. Now, as soon as I get that adrenaline rush ability, it's gonna make this entire process a whole lot quicker. Because adrenaline rush is pretty darn nice, that's for sure. He's just about there. I'm not going to bother with any more trap repairs. I think we got him at this point. We will just let him burn just a little bit at a time. That electric R is putting in some work for us, which is very, very nice. And Ogre down, and that is the lava mines on hard mode. Take a peek around the map, see what we got. We got a bunch of greens, as you saw throughout, so that's a plus. Have yet to see my first blue, but you never know. There might be some blue hotness somewhere. Let's check our victory chest and see if we've got any blue items there. Now, the blue items are going to be even worse than the greens. We're just not going to be able to equip them for a while. You see we're level 12 now. All these green items are level 14. So as soon as we get to level 14, we are going to get quite a nice power increase. But not really going to sweat it until then, and hopefully we'll hit level 14 after the next map. So that will do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to click that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to do this series all the way through, so one day, this will never be my main account. But one day, this account will be doing Massacre Mode once it finally releases in the game. So thank you all once again, and I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.